Welcome to the Britshaver channel. Watch out, it's a shark. Time for a shark blade and the return of the wooden handled Giesen and Forsthoff, I'll write it in the description, razor, double-edged razor. And I'm going to be using Cade. I haven't used Cade for a while. I wonder if it will be as good as I remember. And today I'm going to be using a brush that I haven't used for a while as well, and this is the menu basil brush. Not the basil brush. It's just a bristle brush. It could be a basil brush. Basil brush was a puppet character here in the UK, which was like a fox, and used to use the phrase "boom boom." And I'll put a link in the description. And the shaving bowl, the Turkish one. Okay, so I haven't put the blade in there. It's a week. We're doing Grizzly Adams impersonation. My back has been really painful for the last 3 or 4 days. So that's my excuse for not having a shave, and that's just the way it is. So I'll unscrew the head of the razor. Now I might possibly have a moan about the European Union while we're here. You know, we don't necessarily always have to talk about shaving, but European Union. Now, I am 58 years old, so been in the European Union most of my life. Didn't have a say in whether we went in or not, and I wouldn't have been able to decide even if we had when I was younger. And but I honestly think it's time for a change. Over here, we like our independence. We'd like to be able to decide what we do, when we do it, and how much we get paid for it. And at the moment, it doesn't really work like that. If you want to, with the Cade going in the bowl, if you want to decide how much something should cost, at the moment, we virtually have to go through the EU and they decide whether we're charging the right price for it or not. And we can set tariffs on some things like American jeans made in America. That's if you make jeans in America anymore, do you? I'm not even sure whether you do. But anyway, products made in America do have a tariff on them. And we charge 20% VAT on everything that comes into the country. That's how much shaving cream I put in there. And there's the brush, which is pretty damp at the moment. Give it a bit of a squish around. And it's a bit really like having an old teacher telling you what to do and when to do it and how to do it, and you know, resenting that. And really they're a bit old now and they don't really know what they're talking about, and you'd like to change the way that you do your stuff. And you'd like to go out and you'd like to present yourself in the world, and you'd like to be a big boy and a grown-up now. And the EU treats the UK like a child. It doesn't know what it's doing, and you have to go through umpteen different processes to get what you want. And to be honest with you, who likes that? Nobody likes it. Everybody's threatening. The whole EU is threatening us that everything's going to fall down on us. There'll be an apocalypse. It'll be the end of the world if we leave the EU. It won't. It won't be the end of the UK. There's a strong possibility that after a couple of months, things will be fantastic. We'll be able to join the European Free Trade Agreement, be a member of that. We'll be able to charge what we want for what we want. We can decide on who comes and goes throughout our borders, which we can't at the moment. You know, if you don't travel outside the USA, you don't know what it's like. It's when we go to the US, we go through quite a procedure. I've been to America twice now, and it's always been a thing which they look at your passport 5 times. They check your ESTA. We have to pay 15 quid if we want to go to America. It's called a visa waiver. I have to pay for that, and then we get to travel around the US, and then I have to explain why my wife has got an Italian passport as opposed to an English one, because we're a member of the EU. You have to keep your birth country's passport. So she was born in Italy, so it's a member of the EU. She has to keep her European passport going, her Italian passport, and they won't let her change her name to mine in Italy. So Italian rules apply to her. Whether she wants them to or not. I'll be honest with you, she doesn't want them to. So, if I was American and I met an Italian girl and we got married, she would automatically get an American passport, right? It's normal, isn't it? Well, not if you're in the EU. Just, one of those bonkers things that the EU likes to do. I'm chatting here and I'm not concentrating very much on my shave, and I feel like I need more shaving cream and more water. So I think we're going to do that. I'll be honest with you, this is very nice. It's horrendously expensive. It's the best part of 20 quid for a tube. And although it's very nice and it is a treat, so it's not something that I would use on an ongoing basis. So it's not that good really. Put a whole load of cream in there, too much cream. A little bit of water in the bowl. Give another bit of a swish round. It's quite nice using this brush from time to time. There's a difference, it's firmer than any other brush that I've got. And that's not necessarily a bad thing when you've got a heavy growth on your beard. Anyway, don't trust Cameron. He's our Prime Minister. And who trusts any politicians, eh? And I was chatting to somebody in the States recently, and they didn't realise that British policemen do not have guns. No, we don't. On the whole, British policemen do not have guns unless there's an emergency, and if they need a gun they have to go back to the station and go and get one. And it's because handguns are not allowed. You cannot buy a semi-automatic weapon from a shop in the UK and 1,000 rounds and then go and kill 50 gay people with it. It's just not feasible. It's not possible. And ridiculous. Americans, how can you let this happen? For goodness sake, stop it! Get out there and stop these cretins for killing your people. What's the matter with you? You've got the right to defend yourselves, but you haven't got the right to protect each other. What is the matter with you? Right, let's have a shave. Sharp blade. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a sharp shark, but it is a sharp blade. more often than not I'm leaving my shave for about a week, just simply because you know, it's painful for me to stand for 20 minutes in front of the mirror. I've got 3 herniated discs in my back, and I had a series of injections done in it over the years, and the last injection I had done in my back, when the anaesthetic was wearing off, I started to get severe pins and needles in my leg and numbness, and it's never gone away. It's very painful. I've been to see the doctor. Apparently this can happen when you have the injection in your back, and you have to live with it. So basically, standing up for 20 minutes, walking, sitting down, sitting at a desk, normal everyday stuff. Tough going. Luckily I still look young. Right, pass number 2. Good to get it off your chest, isn't it? You got things on your mind, good to get it off your chest. That's what I say. So I just saw a towel that I didn't recognise on my bathroom door, that funny blue one there, and I don't remember putting it there. Probably the missus snuck in and hung it up on there while I wasn't looking. I tell you what though, I do like about the Cade, I like the scent of it, it's really good scent. What does it remind me of? I suppose it reminds me a little bit of gin. Juniper berries maybe? Something like that? Not so sure. I must be honest with you, I do prefer the long handled razor, but I like to vary what razor I'm using. Really the 2 main ones are a short handled metal one and this wooden handle one, but overall I would say this is my favourite. But I'm not one of those people who likes to do the same thing all the time over and over again. I like to vary things. I'm not one for routine. Never been in the army, see. This razor always makes the blade feel sharper when I use it. I'm pretty sure it isn't. I'm pretty sure it's got something to do with the top of the razor and how much gap there is between the head of the razor, the blade and the edge of the blade and your face. Obviously you can vary it, but you know, we all have our own techniques, and I'm sure that when you use a razor and a blade it feels different to you than it does to me. I think. Might be able to get away with just 3 passes today, you never know. give the razor a good old rinse. Okay, so let's see. No seagulls today. Maybe it's nice out. Maybe they're out at sea catching fish rather than making a flipping noise. There's like no dogs today. I have nicked myself ever so slightly. And that is because I was thinking more about what I wanted to say than the shave itself. So let's have a bit of a rinse off. I'm going to use cool water to have a bit of a rinse. With the that's something you don't want to see, the inside of the sink when you've just shaved. Really not something that I like looking at. But, was a bit uneven today, I think, and I think I left it a bit too long before I shaved. There's a little bit there that needs to be done. I think I'm going to I've got plenty of soap left, so I think I'm going to have another little pass. Might as well. Seeing we're here, doing a bit slapdash with that. I'm going to be a bit more gentle as well. If you've got soap and a blade, you might as well use it. At least today, anyway. Nothing much there, is there? But the light is very intense today in the area. We've had grey, overcast weather for about 2 weeks. Being in England, you know, the Gulf Stream brings this grey, overcast, low-level cloud, which is there with us a lot of the time. But when it goes, it can be quite amazing. Right. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. I think that's okay. I think I might have a bit of a going over with the alum block. This is the one that I use. If you haven't got one of these, they can be very handy if your face gets a little bit sore. And all you have to do, damp it a bit and just run it over. See, there's a little nick there. And a little nick there. You can't quite see them, but sometimes it works with the alum block. It stops it from bleeding, and sometimes it doesn't. I got overexcited when I was doing my shave. That's something you should never do. Something you should never do. Right, I think I'm going to put some aftershave on there as well shortly, but I don't have any in the bathroom. So all the details will be in the description below. If you've got any comments about whether we should leave the EU or not, feel free to put them in the comments. If you've got any comments about the shave, happy to hear what you've got to say about the shave. If you think you can do it better, start your own channel, make your own videos, that's what I say. And I hope you have a really good day, and we'll see you on the Britshaver Shaving channel again before too long. Bye for now, have fun. Hello there, it's John. It's shaving time! Watch out, it's shark. Today's blade is a shark blade. And we have the return of the wooden handled razor, which we haven't used for a while. Camera's going a bit skew-if because it's falling off of its thingy. So we could have an emergency in a minute. On the other hand, it might be perfectly fine. So what's going on there? Let's just start again, shall we?